We're back.
Trio Podcast, Trio Talk.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. Yep. So here we are. Michelle, Liz, and Ingrid. 3 girls just getting together, watching one trio.
Eating chips.
Eating chips and guac today. Today's show sponsored by Moe's. I wish. Imagine.
Right?
Oh my god, unlimited Moe's.
Moe's. We're channeling you.
Yeah. So today we watched episodes
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Yes.
And we're just chugging along here.
Trotting along.
All right, so episode 4 was Crash Into You, and episode 5 is All That You Can't Leave Behind.
Which, Crash Into You, I was for sure thinking that they were going to play Dave Matthews, but they just didn't.
You called that in the beginning.
I was like, oh, they have to play it, but they didn't. But, all right,
they did
whatever.
not. Well, all right, so let's just dive right into this. So we start off, we met her, we met Deb.
Mama
Scott, another Scott, I guess, because she's married to
another one.
Yeah.
Wonderful, lovely, best character Dan. We're all shaking our heads.
We're gonna get there. Don't worry, we'll get there.
But yeah. So we meet Deb. First initial thoughts on Deb. Was she what you expected, or?
Oh, she wasn't?
I kind of thought she was gonna be. I don't know. I pictured her 2 ways: either being a woman who was had no control in the family, which I guess kind of that's what she's realizing is her family's starting to slip away, or someone who was like very bitchy into the boosters.
Right, that's how
like
I thought
mom.
she might be, but I also kind of thought she would be like very business driven, very like obviously dedicated to her job. So she's definitely much more warm, and
yes, and I think like just
their dynamic's totally different.
Just a more mature adult. I don't know if mature is the way to put it, but
I mean, compared to Dan,
he just can't grow up. This man,
no.
It's really
he's
sad.
stuck in the past.
I mean, and like I was thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, well, figure they had Lucas when they were 17 years old, right? So he's about 34, 35, figuring if we think that they're 16 or so.
I was trying,
Which his character, I'm sorry to say, doesn't really look 35. To me, he looks
all
much
the actors
older.
look older, yeah.
I know.
But you're 35, you graduated high school many, many years ago. Yeah. Your ship has docked. You need to just kind of let that be. Let the new generation take it. And he just can't.
I think, again, she's realized she's not home enough. Her kid doesn't talk to her, and
she notices that
like
Nathan's changing.
Yeah.
She doesn't support Dan in how he treats him and puts all this pressure on him. You know, they are kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, we have to remind ourselves that they're kids.
They're in high school.
And they're being, he has so much pressure on him. And we kind of see Nathan mentions that he is doing it for himself because he loves basketball, but then he also, part of him, there's always a part of you that wants to please your parents.
Absolutely.
And even though his dad is a complete asshole, part of him's like, oh, I want to do this for him because he's so passionate about basketball.
Right.
He never lived his dream. And, that kind of shows you, okay, Nathan does have a little bit of
a softer
side that he does care.
Like he said, too, he doesn't really have another outlet if he doesn't play basketball because his grades are so terrible.
Yeah.
So
that's
he's really just
it.
kind of focusing on that.
Yeah.
And then, so then after we see Deb, we find out Nathan is hosting a big party at their beach house.
Yes.
And
he's so graciously invited
which he invites Lucas.
Because he's part of the team.
Because he says, because,
But we all said it out loud, like, bullshit, because we know he's up to something.
Total bullshit. He's totally up to something. And Lucas also brings Haley, and
Haley's holding the secret still that she's tutoring.
He still doesn't know what's going on with that, and they show up, and we instantly know something's going to happen.
Wrong,
Yeah. So Haley's there, and then there's that moment where Nathan kind of pretends like, oh, hi, I'm Nathan, acting like they don't know each other. Like, that's not completely awkward. And then Lucas and Peyton also have a little moment outside on the, like, swing, and Nathan sees that, and that's what triggers...
And that triggered. He didn't like that.
Which, part of me is like, I wonder if Nathan would have done something.
Well, he said the mark with the top, with the drinking game, like, you would have... Wait, what was it?
Never have I ever?
Never have I ever been a father... Or no, been... The father, like, wished it was just semen on the sheets.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first thing, and then let it go. But I don't...
jab.
You're right about the video.
He probably would have dropped it, because I think he is kind of keeping his promise to Haley. He's holding back. They're not tasing. They're not hazing Lucas anymore. And, you know, he kind of looked like he was holding back, but then once he sees Lucas doing anything that he doesn't like, then that he
especially,
kind of sets off.
well, I was going to say, like, especially when he's around, like, his fellow teammates, but he also does things while they're alone, so it's not like he's trying to impress them.
Yeah, so he puts the tape on of Karen
that was crazy.
And his dad, Dan.
I can't even believe
at
they
prom.
had that.
You know what I thought it was going to be? I thought it was going to be
the birthing?
Peyton. Oh,
the birthing.
Peyton naked, or
I
like
also thought
Peyton's
that too.
video camera or something, because he was also like mad at her a little bit.
Yeah, so you kind of weren't sure if he was going to attack Lucas or attack Peyton.
But I guess what Lucas thought was that his mother just got knocked up by this man and didn't really have a relationship, and then he kind of saw like they were high school sweethearts and like loved each other and were planning on getting married early on before he was even involved.
That hit him hard because he thought
she loved this man at one time.
Lucas just thought, oh, she got knocked up, they were in a dumb high school relationship, and then he left. But they were actually he turned down a scholarship at one point, or he said he wasn't going to go.
Which was very surprising.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, too.
So, then he feels maybe a little betrayed by his mom, or that he was lied to, or that...
Just doesn't know the whole story.
And then, he gets upset about... this kind of makes Lucas say, well, he should have given us money, because they have that plumbing issue going on. They don't really... It's not like they're dirt poor, but, they're not as comfortable. Especially when they go to this beach house that Dan and Nathan own, and he makes the comment about, oh, well, our whole house fits in their living room.
Right.
So that kind of triggers that feeling in him.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about, because I kept laughing with you guys, when Haley and Nathan are on the dock outside, and you guys kept saying there were the moments where you can't tell if Nathan's being honest.
Yes.
He doesn't, because there's the typical moment when there's the guy or the girl who's up to no good, but they're lying blatantly to someone's face, and then that person walks away, and you see that little...
You see a smirk, or the music changes.
The
music changes, or the camera just lingers a little bit on that character.
But there
we
was
don't
none
have
of that. Again, and it's very frustrating because we're just forced to believe that he's doing this for the greater good. He's being genuine.
That he's actually being genuine to Haley.
And it's hard to see Nathan be genuine.
When I saw this, I thought, okay, maybe Haley is Nathan's outlet to show a deeper side of him, right? But he can't admit this to the world, but maybe Haley's like that outlet he can go to.
Right.
But I still don't want to believe... Well...
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I mean, he does, obviously, we see him open up more with Haley than with anybody. His dad, his mom,
and he's even said, he's like, I've talked to you more than I've ever talked to Peyton, I think.
And he's been dating Peyton.
They've been dating Peyton for a while.
For a while, so, that's another interesting relationship there.
Yeah.
So then, after that, but then again, we see that glimpse of Nathan the asshole, because then he's like, oh, well, Lucas left. I'll drive you home.
Right, he's very conniving, very manipulative, and then just takes Peyton's car without asking her.
What do you think?
Do you think he did that on purpose?
Well, that's the thing.
The crash?
What was...
Oh, no, I don't think the crash.
Not the crash,
he was fumbling.
But, up to no good in her car. I feel like he just...
I don't know about that, but I don't know what the motive was, insisting to drive Haley home. Is he, At first, I'm like, is he going to make a move?
Right.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Or I thought Gilmore Girls, they're going to get into a car wreck, and he's going to be the asshole that leaves Rory at the hospital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that way Lucas would find out eventually, too. Because,
right. I mean, I think maybe he was thinking...
Thankfully, he didn't do that.
Maybe he was thinking, oh, I'll drop her off, and someone will see either Lucas or Lucas's mom and be like, oh, who dropped you off? I saw Peyton's car, and then... He's probably thinking that, or he's probably just like, let me just drive her home, whatever.
Right. And even though he was drinking, I'm sure it was his house.
Yeah, he was drinking, so he, but I'm surprised Haley didn't say anything about that.
I know.
Right.
So maybe he was okay to drive. He wasn't really drunk yet.
And then, of course, they have to add the drama. She leaves the hat in the car.
Of course, she leaves the hat in the car.
You always have to leave a trace.
You always have to leave a trace. The lie doesn't come out.
So then he crashes the car. Of course, Lucas is nearby in the tow truck.
He thought it was
Peyton. He thought it was
Peyton.
Peyton, so he came chasing down the car because he assumed Peyton was driving drunk, and lo and behold, it's Nathan. They have words.
Words of as usual.
And Nathan is like, well, I'm just going to leave this car here, and it's not my problem.
Right,
I don't
it's
care
like
who
kind of
gets in
like-
trouble.
Exactly.
He doesn't care. So Lucas takes it upon himself to take the car and take the blame.
Which is so
But
frustrating.
I have to say, I'm really happy with the writers and whoever decided that we weren't going to stretch out this story. Like,
Right.
the next morning in the show, like,
Yeah.
we had to go another
They knew.
episode.
Yeah, they
That
knew.
They told Nathan's parents. It wasn't
Nathan's
like one of these
parents
things
knew.
where it was
Ugh.
like,
Again, yeah, I appreciate that too.
Yeah, they're pretty
there's some
quick
plots that
through-
TV shows tend to just like stretch out for
It's really
the
frustrating.
drama and
Yeah.
whatever, and it's very
But
frustrating.
Nathan's parents found out right away.
Because of
Lovely.
Keith.
because he's
Team
like
Keith Scott.
Yeah.
you know
Which I really enjoyed.
the
I was
mature
like,
adult,
okay.
the mature
Finally,
mother.
this makes sense in, this would happen in real world.
Right.
I'm
Right.
glad this happened in the fictional world.
Yep, so, now Deb is realizing, wow, my son is a freaking asshole.
And doesn't take responsibility
Really
and
yeah,
doesn't
and,
have any
you know-
morals or ethics and is just not being taught properly how to be a decent human being.
So Deb decides she's going to be staying home more, so we'll be
Good.
seeing more of her. And Lucas finds out about Nathan and Haley
Yeah.
Yep, from the hat.
from the hat.
And he was mad.
He gives her the chance to admit it before he says that he knows by dropping the hat on the
Right.
counter. And she doesn't,
Yeah.
which is a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we knew that she wasn't going
Yeah,
to.
we knew they were
that.
going to find out eventually,
Yeah.
so... and then...
But luckily, they also didn't drag out their fighting,
Fight.
which
No.
I appreciated too.
They fought for
could
a
have went the
while.
whole season
And
while
it
fighting.
even wasn't like a
It's true.
brutal fight where they like despise each other. It was very
Right.
like, how long
Disappointment.
are we going to be skating around this
Exactly.
this subject? Like, we're friends. She kept bringing it up. We're friends. We need to get over it. We've been through
Yeah.
too much.
No, I
They've been friends
appreciated
since they were
that as well. I
7.
was like,
Yeah.
let's not drag this shit on.
They're not lingering on unimportant things, and they're bringing in different types of plots and
Yeah.
things, which I think is interesting compared to the other shows that I've watched in my entire life. Like,
Yeah.
they just focus on what's important.
They're kind of going through these little arcs very quickly.
which I like.
Oh,
Is he making a sandwich?
As
Yeah,
Anthony
and
is
dancing.
dancing
Sure.
shirtless. Yep, our very own Nathan Scott, everyone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
my god.
He's like doing the jump on it.
If only you can see this, I'm sorry. But
Anyway.
anyway, moving on. So we pretty much end around there when Peyton decides, you know what, she's had enough, and she breaks up with Nathan.
Yeah, because
Which,
she...
good for her.
And I liked that, after that, watching that awful... Well, it wasn't an awful video, but it was the video from the past of Karen and Dan. And the girls, Brooke and...
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention Brooke.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my gosh, like, what if we end up... It was almost made them realize, like, holy shit, the Scots treat women like crap.
Yeah.
And
let's
where
not...
are these women?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
the
like
next
they
generation.
could be the next Karen.
That Brooke was just
And then
like...
Brooke was like, well, you are, not me.
Yeah. And that probably hurt.
And
she
Peyton just,
she
like, set
realized
off.
Yeah, because she's dating a Scot and Nathan's pretty much almost like his dad.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not as bad as his father, but he's up there.
Yeah.
He's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so then Peyton... She's like,
like,
get out,
no.
peace out, we're
Yeah.
done.
Yep, throws all his stuff, and it pretty much ends there with that episode.
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, so what would you guys rate that episode?
I rate it like, well, Michelle doesn't like the music.
Oh yeah, Michelle
my-
does have a gripe, which
my
once
one-
you mentioned
You
it,
can't not hear
Yeah,
it.
it's
once you,
true.
I didn't notice it, but once you mentioned it, that's all I hear.
But in the other episodes we watched, I have not noticed it. But for some reason, like, I don't know, it's just they have to fill silence.
Yeah.
With like
Right, they
this,
can't just let them talk.
And I
music.
honestly can't say if it continues or if that's like a,
Right, 'cause you haven't noticed it.
it's a very new show still. It's only 5 episodes
right.
in.
Yeah, maybe that's
They're
just how
kinda-
they did it, and then
I
they kind
hope
of
it
let
fizzled
it.
out because there's nothing wrong with just having like normal
Dialogue.
background noise and dialogue happening. We don't
Yeah.
need music.
Every-
need every
Especially
single
every
exchange.
sappy part too.
Even not the
and
sappy
that-
part,
even
just
not the
every-
sappy, just everything has music. It's true, and I didn't notice until you said it, and then I really was noticing.
Yeah, you
it.
kind of like look for it.
But
Yeah.
that's my only, and that has nothing to do with like the story or plot or anything.
Yeah.
I'd say I give it like a good 9. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
more like I could ask for it.
No.
And there's nothing
And
ever
again,
change. And it's
they didn't stretch out the
which I really
storylines, which sometimes, even my favorite show, like the OC, sometimes some stories
they stretch it out a little.
really stretched out. I'm
stretched
like,
out.
this is so frustrating. This could be solved, but this was solved.
It could be solved really quickly.
It happened. It was solved pretty quickly, and that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would give it a... See, it's hard for me because I know other episodes in the future, and I compare it to those, but right now, just comparing to what we've seen, I think I'll give this one a 7.5.
Okay.
Only because not much was happening, nothing like big and huge. But enough was going on that, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I would agree. I would give it about an 8.
Yeah.
I seem to give everything an 8 so far.
Yeah,
but
right.
So
far
it's
been
But like we
a
met
good
Deb, and we're character building even more.
Yeah, and then Peyton did break up with Nathan, and we met Deb, and we had the big party.
Yeah, we're moving forward.
There's arcs happening, and
see
Lucas
where
finds
the
out about
characters
Haley and
develop.
Nathan.
Yeah.
So there's, character relationship changes happening.
Yeah.
All right, next episode is All That You Can't Leave Behind.
Yes.
Which Dan, that just rings true. He can't leave anything behind. He
He
lives
has
in the
gripes
past.
with Whitey, which was his coach, and Whitey could care less.
Yeah.
And, it's pretty much focused on Dan and all his...
This episode
It opens with Peyton driving through the lights, and you don't know why.
Right. But if you guys caught on, the last image of the
comic
last
book,
episode,
or the comic
she was sketching a light.
People always leave, it said.
Yeah.
People always leave.
People always leave, and she was sketching the light, which at the end of the last episode, we had no idea
red.
what that meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a green, a yellow, a red, and then like double or triple red.
Triple red, yeah.
So we didn't know. We just thought she was being angsty, but then, it starts off with the episode of her actually driving through all the red lights, and we still don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't
we're
find
so
out.
Frustrated.
Yeah,
with
we're
her.
still thinking. But then when you do find out, the reason was because her mom was killed 7 years ago. I think she said.
7.
Yeah.
When going to pick her up
And she
from
just
school,
running
and
late.
she
Just ran a red light.
and that's all it took, and she died in a car accident. So.
Yeah.
And that's why Peyton's all moody this episode, going through a lot.
Right, and obviously, when her and Nathan are broken up, but he still, even if they were together, wouldn't have even acknowledged it because he would have had no idea.
No, he didn't
That's
know.
what
And
happened.
I also think, not just that she's moody this episode, she's pretty moody
All the time.
But this kind of gives some
depth to her.
depth,
and
I understand now.
You understand why.
And especially, too, because her dad is
Not
in the
around.
picture, but he's not around. So
No.
she really has no outlet as far as, parental guidance.
Yeah,
or
she pretty
anything.
much lives alone because her dad is like a fisherman that's out at sea for months at a time.
Right.
Which I don't understand how a teenager is unsupervised, but that's how it is
This
in TV
seems to
shows.
happen a lot.
And a lot of shows.
Yeah, they just live their lives without parental guidance, which is why they get into all this mischief.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But I
That's
think
pretty
for
much-
her, even though she doesn't act as mature, but I feel like her situation made her mature.
Yeah. Well,
So
she
she's a
definitely-
little bit different than them, even though her attitude is still a little childish. But
yeah, so Peyton pretty much this episode is losing it. She yells at Brooke in front of everyone
which
about
is supposed to be her best friend.
which is her best friend, saying how none of this matters.
Which
and
she's been saying all along.
she
Right.
says a lot, yeah.
She finally
would be
came out.
happier, I
Which-
feel, if she stopped cheerleading.
Right, which I think now I realize, this is my opinion, that I think the reason she is cheerleading is because her mom
mother
was a
was a
cheerleader,
cheerleader.
and maybe it's a
Yes.
connection that she shares
Right.
with her mom.
That makes
Which
sense.
I understand.
Now that makes more sense. Why is this, rocker type artist
Yeah.
girl with cheerleaders, which maybe part of her likes it, but I
Right.
think most of it is because she wants to connect with her mom.
And she even said when her and Whitey were having a talk, she's like, I don't even really remember her that much.
yeah, I love
Which
Whitey.
is so sad. Yeah, they
Isn't
had a
Whitey
heart
so
to
cute?
heart.
I love Whitey.
I liked him. I now like him more this episode.
Yeah, because in the first episode he just seems like the
coach.
brooding coach, and he's
He seems he's
But
a
now
little
he has
cold in the beginning,
more-
but now you see a softer
yes,
side
he's
to him.
warm. He
And
lost
he cares.
his wife.
He does care.
He cares, and he's that moment with Peyton's cute, and they
It's
have a couple
really
moments
nice.
on the bridge
Yeah.
and in the
Yeah,
cemetery.
and she needs that, because like we said, she has no
She has
parental
no
guidance.
parental,
Yeah.
so she might kind of see Whitey like a dad,
Yes.
stand-in kind
Which
of
is
father
nice.
figure right now, because she seeks him out, saying, "Oh, can we talk?"
Right.
Because she
Which is
knows,
good.
because his wife passed away the same week that her mom did.
Yeah.
So they kind of share that week. So she didn't have
It's
anyone.
hard for both
She was
of them.
mourning alone.
Yeah.
So she reached out to Whitey.
Which was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. And then with Lucas and Haley during this episode, they're kind of going back and forth, like
they're not
fighting about it.
But then again, they still have some gripe towards
Lucas is still upset that she's tutoring him, but she tells him that I'm tutoring him to help you.
And that's all.
That's it. Which Haley is just very naive.
What do you think with that?
Do you
Haley,
think deep down rooted, like I think wants she's trying something more than what she's putting out?
Deep down, I think she's just trying to see if she can find good in him.
Right, like change him.
Because she's mentioned it, like when arguing with Lucas, she's like, "Well, I want you to see it from his side, and
or
I
like
want
the person that you think he is."
Oh yeah, that
like,
I wrote that actually.
Like, what do you know about him that's different? And that probably upsets Lucas too. Like, okay, so you know him a little bit more in depth than I thought you did.
Yeah,
right.
And that's hurtful.
Yeah, that's true. I thought I
and
wrote
then the hug.
The hug is what, yeah.
And that was
the end.
That was towards the end, yeah.
Towards the end. Of the father-son game.
Father-son game. Right.
Yeah, this is all. The whole episode is dealing with this father-son game. The paper, which must be such a small town that on the front cover they're writing a Scott article on Dan Scott and his 2 sons. And
right, but I mean it's such a small town. But
unless
then again,
it was that Thud. Unless it was the Thud magazine, which it could have been.
It could have been, because I wondered that too. Like this small magazine. Like, doesn't the town know
Wouldn't they know that he's
on?
the bastard, you know?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, everyone else seems to
Unless
know.
they're maybe doing it towards Dan. I
mean,
maybe. I doubt that, but, like, if the town sees that that's who Dan is and they kind of want to bring him to, you know.
And Dan, we find out, is the one that created the father-son game, just gives him an excuse to play a game in front of the town. Which makes him just so pathetic.
Yeah,
and he goes to the garage, and Keith throws some jabs at him, which were really good.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of fast-forwarding to the end, but, like, I loved when Keith just ripped into him, like, I had the Scott name first.
Yes.
You might be embarrassed of us, but what makes you think we're not embarrassed? Yeah. I was like,
I'm like, yes.
Get him.
Yeah, no, that was good. And I'm happy that, you know, Lucas asked Keith to play.
I know.
And he really appreciated that. It meant a lot to him.
Yeah. And during this time, Lucas wants to get rid of his name, Scott.
Right, we should talk about that.
Yeah, so Lucas wants to get rid of the Scott name because obviously he doesn't want any connections with Dan.
Yeah, we still don't know what Karen's maiden name is, but I guess maybe
but we do get the story as to why he has the name. It's because Dan and Karen had planned. I mean, and Karen's
he was
definitely
planning on being the father, and then
the plan was to get married. And at the hospital, when asked what the name was, she said Scott, Lucas Scott.
And I'm also glad that again, shout out to the writers for solving this problem, like this question that we had.
You brought it up. One of you guys said it during the episode, like why does he have the name? Because he was like, oh, this name. And you guys said that, and then instantly, like, a few scenes later, they answered it.
So thank you.
So that's pretty good that they did that. And, I mean, in the end, he does decide to keep it. I love the story that Karen tells that when has Lucas, Keith was there, and he held Lucas.
That was the first time he cried.
The only time or first time that she saw him cry. And, you know, you do forget, but he's also a Scott.
Right.
And Dan
doesn't, I mean, he has the name, but he doesn't own the name.
Right. So
more family.
Keith is also a Scott.
Said, you know, Karen and Lucas are more to a family than his own blood is. Because him and Dan, since they were kids, have never had anything in common. They have no relationship.
Connection, yeah. So...
I wanted to discuss, and again, I don't want to forget about this, because this actually happened in the last episode.
Okay.
So, a little off topic. Okay. But
Rewinding.
What did you think about Deb going to the coffee shop?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, we totally forgot that.
She's definitely, you can tell she's rooted good. She wants to see this kind of... She's not stupid. She knows there's not going to be a fairy tale ending for them. But she wants there to be some common ground. There not to be this, like... this just potent reputation that both their families hold.
Right, yeah, because she does say, you know, it doesn't have to be our history.
Right.
Like, that part.
Imagine if they became like best friends. That would just kill Dan.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely reaching out, and at first Karen has her guards up completely.
Oh, yeah.
Just says, like, what do you want?
What
like,
do you expect it?
You know, and she's like, oh, she assumes that Dan sent her as a spy. Right. And she's like, no, I'm just here because... You know,
she's just as much in the dark.
And she probably thinks that, like, like Karen probably thinks that Deb is just as awful as Dan.
Right?
Yeah, because they don't know each other.
No.
They don't know each other.
She's not, like, at all.
But she, from the scenes that we've seen, like, she's not like Dan.
No.
Like, at all.
Which is great.
Yeah, well, yeah, you
so
can't.
There's some
if
hope
they
for
had
Lucas
a couple
and for
of just,
Nathan,
like,
I
a
feel.
female Dan and Dan, they would just be too much.
And then Nathan would have no hope.
And then Nathan would have no hope at all, but, Deb is kind of like the solid parent in that relationship, for sure.
Luckily.
But,
Yeah, I like that she did that, and I'm glad that she didn't just leave just saying, like, okay, thanks, and, like, had the courage to actually say, like, I'm here because I want there to be some peace
nice.
here.
yeah. So that shows you right away what kind of character Deb is.
Yes.
They didn't even have to, one scene alone kind of shows you. That's all they needed.
Yeah.
They didn't have to have all these scenes about her talking about her life.
They
and all
kill
this
character development on the show. It's just awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like that. I'm glad you brought it up because we totally forgot about that. But
I couldn't remember exactly, honestly, which episode it was in.
So, going back to the second episode, we have some scenes with Nathan and Haley during their tutoring sessions.
Yes.
And Nathan is still opening up, saying he misses Peyton, which I think he's genuine about. He does miss her.
I think he misses her out of habit.
Out of habit, like
and
having
comfort.
her around.
Right.
She's kind of like the safety blanket.
Well, yeah, because think about it. Up until now, Deb wasn't around, and he just had a shitty dad.
Yeah. And Peyton was like something he could control also.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, oh, you're getting rid of the necklace I gave you. She's like, oh, you mean the leash?
Yeah, the leash,
I'm like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good one.
There was a few good jabs.
And I think, maybe not, but it seems like they've been in a relationship for so long that this is all they know.
Yeah.
Right.
And they said she's like, he kept talking about how they had all these great nights, and she's like, well, that was in the past. It's
So
old
long
us.
ago.
They're so long ago, and they're different people now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he needs to kind of realize that. He was still trying towards the end, though. He still was like, I need you back.
But I think I don't think it's more
not,
of like a need because this is what I know.
Not because he loves
constant.
her.
Not because he loves her.
Not because he loves her, because
it's what
it was
he knows.
something that he had, and it was constant. And he would say to, I think he was playing with Tim. Now we know his name.
Tim.
His dumb friend Tim. That he was like, oh, she'll come around. Yeah. We always fight. And a few days later we come around, we make up. And then his friend Tim's like, well, why do you get back together? Oh, because we make up.
Yeah,
stupid, comment.
Some stupid teenage boy comment.
But, yeah, that's pretty much, it seems like it's done. Because Peyton shows up to the game and he's like...
should be for the best.
Yeah.
Hope she
and he's like, oh, I knew you would show up. And she says, well, it wasn't for you. Which for a second you think she's going to walk over to Lucas, but she doesn't walk over. Yeah, she doesn't walk over to anyone. It was more like for herself. She goes through the green light this time.
And then the hug happened at the game.
Yep.
The hug.
So
the
Haley.
hug.
And you see that evil
so you finally get the
face.
smirk.
Well, yeah, because Lucas is like, oh, look, Haley, look at my test. Because she's like, I'm only going to the game if you get an 80.
If you get above an 81 or
and
whatever.
He got an 84.
And he got an 84.
So it shows Haley, she's super excited because she helped. He goes in,
right?
like, give me a hug.
Gratification for both of them.
And she hugs him, and what do we see?
Lucas. Of course, there's
Lucas,
the
moment Lucas
and Nathan's face.
You
and
finally
that's what we've been waiting for.
That's what you get. You get the smirk.
We knew it the whole time. It had to be something. And there it is, Nathan, that stupid face.
Yep, so then Lucas goes into the game pissed at Haley. Haley's like yelling, oh, I loved when she's yelling, Lucas, and not answering, and she goes, Scott! And then you just see Nathan
both of them
Lucas
turn their
around.
heads.
That was pretty funny. I was like, awkward.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Now, that just... Oh, it's just
and
so
then
hard.
The whole game is Dan.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, the whole game is Dan.
Dan losing his freaking mind and being pathetic in the locker room.
He was so pathetic.
It was just like, as much as I hate Dan, there was that moment I was like, I just feel sad for you.
Yeah.
No, it is.
You're a sad man.
A sad man who just hates his life, who lives so much in the past. Like, even rewinding to when Deb was talking to him, like, that part of our life is over. Like, do you like that part of your life more than your life now with me and your son? And he just goes, it was different.
Yeah.
Meaning, I liked playing basketball more than
in high school.
And it's weird to think, okay, then you got this basketball scholarship, but then you decide you're going to stay, but then you don't follow through.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, like, is he... Now I feel like he's kind of... Not second-guessing, but he definitely feels some sort of guilt, but he won't show it as far as, like, being the father figure there. He just... I think he's holding on to that, too, and even Whitey says that. He's like, you know you made a mistake.
Yeah. And maybe he does feel it, but I feel like nothing surpasses his obsession with basketball and being the number one player and just being the star. He literally wants to just be the star.
And everyone's so sick of him.
No, nobody.
And then the wife, and then Deb. She's watching from the bleachers and just looking at him.
And then he body checks Nathan.
His own son
knocks him to the ground so that he doesn't get a basket.
And then eventually, looked at him and said, "Oh, are you okay?"
Yeah, but then who helps him up is Lucas.
Of course, we knew that.
Lucas helps him up. And I'm pretty sure Lucas said, "Oh, let's beat him." And Nathan says, "No, I'll do it myself." But you have that little moment. I'm like, "Oh, brothers!
Oh, team
up,
friends!"
And
then Lucas has a shot, but he passes Nathan the ball.
He does pass it to Nathan. Like you need to, like, beat Dan. You need to be the one that sinks the basket. But then I loved this moment was when Nathan doesn't let Dan beat him.
Right. He just says,
steps
here you go.
back and he's like, "You will never be better than me. You will never beat me.
Here's your moment."
Because he wants to be his son. He wants to be better than his son. And he's like, "You know what? You want this basket so bad. You want this win."
And then the whole court can see how pathetic he is.
It's so sad. And like you
here
see
you go, Dad. Here's your shining moment. I'm not going to touch you.
And then you would think he wouldn't shoot, and he does it anyway, which makes it even more sad and pathetic. I'm like, what a fucking loser. Dan is such a fucking loser.
He is. He's so... just... Yeah, such a frustrating character.
He just brings up feelings.
Yeah,
anger.
Just angry.
And the actor just plays that look of just smug and just...
And his tan skin.
And the tan. The spray tanning.
Spray tan
Which
skin.
adds to the douchiness, in my opinion.
Totally.
Right? Totally. And the comb over and his little, like, when he... Like, even when Nathan and Tim are just playing ball in
he has to get
yard,
in there.
He gets in there and makes a shot from far away, like,
I'm gonna beat you. So cool.
It's
you need to get over yourself.
Straight up douche.
Yeah. He's the straight up douche of the show, for sure.
Yeah, he's the villain, the antagonist.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, it's probably going to be for the rest of the series.
Which is very
frustrating.
Would have to happen, but I don't know.
Who knows? We don't
have
know
a
yet.
lot of seasons.
We have
a lot of episodes, a lot of seasons. A lot happens in just season 1, let alone.
I'm sure.
2 through 9.
I'm sure.
There's so much. So, that pretty much is where it ends. I mean, Lucas decides to keep the Scott name. They have a cute little moment with Keith.
Yeah.
Keith and his bandana and his Timbs.
Yeah, his
so
Timbs.
cute. Yeah. I love Keith so much.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Peyton decides.
They stay together. We could call them
Peyton together. No, she goes through the green lights, and that's, they do a good job of, like, wherever they start the episode is kind of where it ends.
Full circle.
It's like a nice little full circle. Each episode kind of doesn't leave you hanging with anything.
Right.
They start off and then they kind of close. They have little things open-ended.
You feel content. You have a sense of like, okay, that was a good episode. Now on to the next.
Yeah, it's like you close the book and then you open up the book and you're fine. But how about this episode? What do you think? What would you give this one?
Did I think it was better than 4? I don't know. It's hard to distinguish.
I think I would give this one a higher episode than 4. Only because you learn more about
There's
Peyton.
a little romance, just a tinge. There's a shed of hope in there.
Yeah, and we learn. I just we have more understanding of Peyton.
More understanding of Peyton.
And Whitey.
We see them open up more. We have a slight hint of maybe Nathan having some sort of change in him, but then he kind of digresses. So you're kind of not sure where he's going.
Yeah. He's the old, we have to watch him. He's the trouble.
Yeah, he's a
he's not, kid. He's not, he's young, he's a kid.
He's a 16-year-old little shit, but, And, I think I would give this one an 8.
Yeah. I think that's
only because I like that we see more of what's going on with Peyton. I like the tiny little moment of the Scott brothers having that, it's like us against Dan moment.
It melts your heart a little bit.
It was like a split second, but it was there. So
a sliver of hope.
A sliver of hope, and so I would give that one an 8.
Yeah, I agree.
It was good.
I'm sticking with 8s for now.
Yeah,
We can keep it the trend of the 8s.
Yeah,
I think we've been doing some good.
That's
So far, so good. And it only gets better, guys.
Yeah. Do you have any predictions, Michelle?
Oh, yeah, let's talk predictions. What do you think?
Well,
You can have, like, short-term predictions or
yeah,
long-term predictions.
you know, again, I'm just, like, concerned, and that's a perfect word for it, with this Nathan and Haley situation. And now I don't know if he's, like, yes, he's benefiting from grades, but is he using her?
Right. And then...
Or does he really like her?
Yeah,
or does he trying to, like, rip her and, like, she'll become Nathan's best friend and Lucas? That's really hard. I mean, this is Lucas's one friend.
Outlet.
Yeah.
And the one person she goes and helps is his enemy.
Yeah.
It's a complicated.
And if he
Good
does do
storyline.
well, then... And let's just say that basketball doesn't work out for him, he's still, like, in the clear.
I know.
And he's still winning then,
I
too.
know.
So, because it doesn't seem like basketball, yes, he's good at it and it makes his dad proud of him, but it doesn't seem like he's very passionate about it.
Well, or it's losing passion.
He
Because of all
constantly
this
mentions
Right.
dropping it.
So,
he's like, oh, maybe I'll just
feel
quit
like
basketball.
maybe
says
if
that
he
a lot.
did that, then that would be better for him, and Peyton would not be a cheerleader. Not that I would want them back together, but maybe they can start being who they really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And not living
Peyton
under
and
the damn
Lucas,
shadow.
I don't know. There
They have
seems to
these
be a little
little
romance blooming.
Tiny,
The
tiny.
slowest romance.
Oh, even Brooke says it like, yo, you guys can just brood together.
Yeah.
Because you're both so broody,
Yeah.
you know?
These tiny little, like, exchanges that they have
Right.
that don't last very long. But he's constantly, you know, at her side, wanting to, like...
He always rushes to her aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, even when it's not needed or asked for, he's just
And I
always
think
there.
naturally he would do that anyway, but for her, it's just convenient now how we're seeing it for her.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know if the Nathan and Haley situation is going to rip Haley and Lucas, like, apart.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we also mention how terrible at mini golf they all are?
Yeah.
At
yeah.
putt-putt?
We just
Every
kept
scene.
cracking up.
Every scene.
And it's kind of humorous because,
It's
like,
really
the shot
fun.
shows
the
them
shot
being, like,
is just a straight shot of them playing, like, the ball just completely missing or just veering off.
Yep.
but yet the characters
Don't even
Don't
like,
acknowledge it. Just keep going in the camera. Oh yeah, we just all suck at even though we have our own private course, we're all terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Very
That
cool.
we all
they
noticed
have
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm assuming that's above the cafe. The
I think
putt-putt.
so.
Yeah, maybe.
It has to be obviously it's a rooftop. So
Yeah, that's a cute place. I thought.
Any predictions for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when the show was on, I really don't know any spoilers or any.
No, I don't.
I don't know any
nothing.
situations
Which
at
is
all.
so great that you know
But I
nothing.
think that Peyton and Lucas do have a relationship. So I don't know when we'll get to that. If they do, it will make sense. It's taking a very long time, which is good because you don't want with some shows they like. You know, the next episode they're kissing. You're like,
They're, like,
what?
in
They
love
have
already.
no depth to that.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. And I don't know. Maybe Haley's gonna fall for Nathan. I think she likes
a challenge.
right. She wants,
And it's a little bit bad, and you shouldn't be doing it, but that's kind of the
and he
allure of
also
it.
is warm to her and flirtatious, and she
And-
doesn't really get that.
And he's getting deep with her, which if you know any guy that opens up,
Yeah,
even
you
if
feel
I've had
like
guy
it's
friends,
like-
you're like, oh man, they trust me, and this is
Exactly.
great, and you know you're the confidant. And,
So she might get her heart broken. I don't know.
yeah, and maybe Keith and Karen will kiss.
That would be great. Who's to say they haven't though?
That's true.
Yeah, you
that
never
could
know.
come out too.
And maybe Dan has like a little gripe with Keith too because that, you know, Karen was
right.
this looks like it was his first love. I mean, his high school
That's
sweetheart.
what it looks like.
Right.
So for Keith to kind of step on that turf, even though he's very deserving of it,
Yes.
it's probably hard for Dan to see. It's hard for Dan to cope with many situations.
Oh
in
yeah,
his
Dan
life.
has issues.
He can't cope with anything.
Do we ever meet? I guess their parents.
Their
aren't
parents
alive.
are no longer.
Honestly, I don't remember
Because I'd like to
Did they
understand
mention that?
their dynamic. Like,
They might mention their parents. I'm
Like
sure.
grandparents come to town.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's been so long. I don't know if we ever see the grandparents. We might, but I'm pretty sure they go into their history of like
Okay.
growing up,
Why they're rooted
why
that
they're
way.
not close.
Because I want to see
Why-
Keith's past too. Like
Right,
what
no, yeah,
happened.
we definitely
How
will.
did he end up here?
Yeah.
And obviously how did Dan end up the way he is.
Yep,
So
we definitely.
I'm excited about that.
We will.
There's so much more we're finding out. I can't even imagine what 9 seasons.
And there's
can
still
bring.
other characters we haven't gone into.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, and this before we leave. We think they're in 10th grade. We should look this up though.
We think they're in 10th grade. I don't know why we think they're in 10th grade.
It has to be because they don't have their prom until.
Like
if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but I think like towards the end of season 3 or 4.
Okay.
So it has to be.
It has to be senior year.
Because if they're playing on varsity, but they have younger than them people, they have to either be in 10th or 11th.
Right. Or maybe they're in 11th.
They could be in 11th.
And there's 9 seasons?
Well, I mean, it doesn't stop at high school.
No, I know.
Gossip Girl did college.
You know?
Yeah, I guess the OC did.
And, you
The
know.
OC did college, yeah.
But,
So,
like...
that's the whole...
I know, it keeps
when
going.
You
Even
do a
if you do
show,
college, you're still out of... I mean, it depends. You could do a season. I guess 2 seasons could be
That's
a year.
if they go to college.
Right.
Oh.
No, I don't. But, yeah, it goes on for a long time.
It's not going to be like we're going to get, like, a new class.
No.
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 Oh, no.
Although, like, the cover on the Netflix...
But don't worry about that. I know, the cover on the Netflix is, like... don't even look at that.
No, I know, but it's 3 characters.
I know.
Not even
I know. But
they
don't matter. It's fine.
They don't matter.
It's not important to what we're doing now.
Okay.
They are important, but it's not right now.
Okay, well, that's fine.
But it's not
They're in
like it's you know.
We'll go.
It goes with the flow, and we'll get there when we get there.
I trust
In,
you.
like, 5
you know
years.
Me, I have no patience, so I'm like, when's gonna happen now? And
Right.
But so I think we're
so
gonna
far
end that.
really liking the show.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I'm glad you guys like it. Makes me happy.
Yeah,
Season 1's gonna be hard to beat.
I know. Oh man, I was kind of skimming through the little descriptions of the rest of the episodes.
Getting excited.
They weren't looking because they don't know what happens.
No.
But I remembered scenes and episodes, and oh god, we're
brought you back.
We're in for a trip. All right, so we're going to end it there. If you are watching One Tree Hill, feel free to email us at treehilltalk@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter, same thing, Tree Hill Talk.
Tree Hill Talk everywhere.
We're on iTunes now.
And we are on
We
iTunes,
made
so
it.
you can now search Tree Hill Talk, subscribe, give us a review, give us some stars, comments. That would be lovely.
Things you'd like to hear.
Yeah. Let us know you're out there. We know you're out there. All right, so...
We hope you're out there.
Yeah, you are. All right.
This episode is brought to you by Fluff. Don't just nutter butter your sandwich, fluff and nutter your sandwich.